Okay, so Manny, what did you find first?
Oh, okay, so there's something going on in Nigeria that is really, really, I don't even know the word. I think I can just say I'm enraged. So I know that the whole Chrisland thing that happened, we're going to go into that tomorrow. So we're going to leave that. I don't want to say anything about it. But I found something in the news that is also very, very disturbing. So it says Rivers teachers raped 50 students in 4 months. 50 pupils in 4 months, says FIDA. So the International Federation of Women Lawyers has raised the alarm over the rise in cases of teachers sexually abusing their students in Rivers State. The chairperson of FIDA in Rivers State, Adeta Bayo-Briggs, while speaking to journalists in Port Harcourt, the state capital, said between January and April 2022, over 50 cases of teachers defiling their students had been reported and charged to court. She said some of the recent cases were recorded in Ahoada, Elelowo, and Rumokota areas of the state, even as she commended the police for promptly prosecuting many of the cases, which she describes as disheartening. It is sad and disheartening that we have a lot of students that have been defiled by their caregivers and teachers. We presently have a case from our order, a 7-year-old child defiled by her teacher. We have another case of a child somewhere in Elelowa that was also defiled by her teacher. So I don't even want to go into reading even more of this. It's really heartbreaking. Like, how can your teacher, someone that is supposed to be your caregiver, be defiling you? I mean, this is crazy. I'm a lawyer, so I know what this entails. No problem. They've charged these ones to court. But do you know...
There's many.
How many? Number one, how many are we going to...
I was just going to say that consequences. Are there any repercussions for these things happening? And these are the ones that we know of.
These are the ones we know of. And we are talking about 50 in 4 months. 15. This is very... I think something has to be done. Our educational system in Nigeria is turning on its own. That's the only thing I can say.
The state government needs to look into it very critically.
Yes.
Because it informs you, this is just 4 months. So imagine in a year, the number of students that are being defiled.
And this is the one that we know of.
Numbers and very alarming. So I think
it's
the state government needs to get on this very quickly.
I think it's increasingly clear that we have a problem.
We have
a problem that needs to be looked into very, very quickly.
We have a problem. We have a problem.
What did you find first?
Still on crisis. It seems like Nigeria is just taking a downturn even quicker than we imagined. The NURTW crisis today, where soldiers, policemen storm AGBADO as MC Oluomo and Istijabah boys draw the battle line. So the story goes that scores of policemen and soldiers stormed Istijabah bus stop in the AGBADO area of Oluomo local government area of Lagos State today to forestall a clash between road transport unionists loyal to two factional leaders in the state. We have Musliu Akinsoye, popularly known as MC Oluomo, and Aziz Abiola, aka Istijabah. The correspondent who was on site said that about 5 patrol vans and security personnel were on a joint mission in the area, and the fully armed policemen came in with vans and guns wielding soldiers stormed the bus stop just to be able to maintain some kind of calm, right? Over 100 area boys and foot soldiers for both MC Oluomo and Istijabah seated with rage as they stood just opposite the security agents. And this is very, very scary. Even though policemen, about 40 and 12 soldiers came in to prevent the clash, but it still talks about the crisis, insecurity situation. And this is not even the north where we're having, this is Lagos, Nigeria. And we're having clashes where area boys are making people, in fact, a lot of people who had shops around that area had to shut down. So this is really crippling all around, whether it's the economy of the people, whether it's, you know, it's really something that the state government, again, needs to be able to have control over this situation. I don't know how they're going to solve it, but if these people are not checked, you know, put in check now, it could escalate and it could get out of control where lives will be lost, innocent lives will be lost, and devastation all around. So I think it's something that Lagos State government needs to get on immediately.
I mean, the NURTW problem is one that just has the ability to skyrocket. So let's hope that they're able to get it under control. So I'll quickly take my story. So my headline speaks to water scarcity in Kano. And I mean, as we're coming towards the, what is it now, rainy season, so the rains have even been falling, I think it's early days. But here we're talking about water scarcity hitting Kano, and the Kano government intervened. So now the state governor, Abdullahi Ganduje, has directed the Rural Water Supply Agency of the state to immediately swing into action to identify the boreholes that have broken down so that they can be fixed. And looking at, I believe there's a French project that the state had partnered, or a project the state had partnered with the French government on, to be able to deal with. Of course, we know we have a potable water issue in the country, but the fact that they're attributing a lot of these of the shortages and scarcity to the fact that there's been theft by vandals, epileptic power supply. I mean, all the things that we know about that are taking place in and around the Kano and Chalawa rivers, which is causing this issue for them in the state. It's great to see that the state government is doing something to deal with this quickly, but I think for me, we just take for granted water down here in the south.
Absolutely.
So to be contemplating where we always complain about floods and all of that, to see that a part of the country is struggling with water shortages is really sad to hear. We hope that the government is able to quickly deal with that and ameliorate these issues for the populace. But at least the government has taken some responsibility there. We hope that it's not just sound bites and they actually get to do something about it. Let's quickly jump into our day for today. So today is World Heritage Day, and it's observed every year on April 18th to preserve human heritage and recognize the efforts of the organizations working for it. We all know that ancient buildings and monuments are an asset to us and to the world. Therefore, World Heritage Day is a collective effort of the communities in the world to do what is necessary. A World Heritage Site is a place that is listed by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, as of cultural importance. World Heritage Day gives us an opportunity to conserve and preserve our heritage culture, which is of ancient significance. They have outstanding universal values. The World Heritage Day 2022 theme is Heritage and Climate, to promote conservation research and employ sustainable strategies to protect heritage sites. It is decided by the International Council on Monuments and Sites every year. ICOMOS wants people from various religious backgrounds to set aside their differences and come forward and spread the message of solidarity. What do we have here at
I was just going to ask that question, that maybe I should go Google and check if we have any World Heritage Sites on
I
Nigeria.
think the only ones I can think of off the top of my head would probably be Badagry, the slave trade, the first house in, I think the first story building in Nigeria, the slave museum. So I think we have some sites.
But is it listed?
Well, so that's a different thing. So with that process of being listed,
because I'm sure the criteria
here, but of course,
to be able to
when we talk about things that affect our part of our heritage here, even if you think about Freedom Park, I know we've turned it into a tourist destination, but I mean it used to be a prison. So I mean there are places that we can sort of think about off the top of our minds when we think about heritage, at least for me, mostly in Lagos, but I know that there are other places around the country.
Oshun, Oshobo.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
We have something there, the Grove.
So we do have these sites, but it's
then
more
again,
about
how
what we're
do
doing.
we project them? How do we, it's about heritage, it's about preservation. How do we preserve them to become something that the world will come from all over to see? We don't have maintenance culture. We don't really value things here in Nigeria. So it might be a challenge, but it is a great asset if we begin to look into it.
Okay, I think that would be a good thing for us, and it's a huge key to tourism. So I mean, just going away and coming back, seeing how countries have preserved those kinds of sites
over the years. I mean, when you hear of the train station in UK for over 100 years, you're like, wow, it's still functioning.
I think our focus is just on crude oil. if we're just looking at oil, then we will not see other opportunities because this is another way to grow our economy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we have so many
way.
challenges even for us to even get to that point because security. Because
I mean, a huge one.
That's why I was just gonna keep quiet. I'm like, we have to talk about it because
until we sort
there's
out
so
these
many
problems,
things that
nobody.
Yeah, because even
come.
for me, Badagry is a place growing up that we used to go to. It was one of the popular beaches when we were
I
younger.
went on tours from
Yeah.
school.
But to go to Badagry now, you'd be suicidal. Like maybe unless you were going to go by boat. But the road is almost
non-existent.
So exactly, it's non-existent. So you're
if they're kidnapping people in Lekki you're just on your own, like you're on
so
your own.
like, you know what, history can wait, heritage can wait.
Yes.
Today's
Let's be alive. Let's be alive first of all.
Today's problems are enough for today. Can you imagine taking your car there and then you fall into a pothole and the kind of bill
There's
that
no
you
help
get after that? So I mean, truly understandable, but it just shows the opportunities that we have as a country that we're not exploring because I mean, even I think it was last week or so, some friends went to Oluomo and I thought to myself, I remember going to Oluomo as a child.
I'm not gonna go there now.
I've gone there.
Because of the train.
In the last 2 years
Yeah.
or so. 3 years. Yeah.
I think because of the train now, it's easier to get to. So people want to.
I didn't. We had to drive. We drove down actually, and it was a good
trip
experience.
Yeah, and I think
especially for the
presidential
kids,
library as well now.
Oh yes.
Man is like I don't know if you've let us.
I don't even know what you guys
No,
are
money.
I just want to stay in town and be safe, please.
Oh, where you can get a plane ticket.
Yes.
You're out.
It'll be interesting for us to see, but I'm looking forward to today's conversation and having Akin join us.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a short break. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.